Hello everybody, welcome back to the career of Alban Zogbomb and the HE-111. It is now September 8th, 1942. The previous mission taking place on September 2nd had us finally getting shot down. Our right engine caught on fire. We lost our tail gunner as well, and we had to bail out, fortunately over friendly skies. But Alban had to spend about 6 days in the hospital recovering from that flight, and he is back now. And the first mission of the day, Alban is going to be on a look over at the planning room. At 8:06 this morning, Alban will be going up in a flight of 9 HE-111s to bomb a railway junction. So let's go ahead and go to the briefing and see where we're going today. Okay, so here we are in the briefing. So it looks like we'll be taking off from our airfield, making a right-hand turn to the northeast, picking up fighter escort at waypoint 2, and we will be making a second right-hand turn, going a little bit more east. And the target for today is the railway junction outside of the town of El Shanka. And looking at the map, so we do have this road that is running perpendicular to the target, and then we'll have the railroad, and then we'll have the town of El Shanka on the opposite side of the target. So we do have some indicators here, sandwiched right in between. We'll have to remember that the town of El Shanka is right along the Volga River, so we will have to keep an eye out for these four elements. Of course, the road, the city, and this river, and of course the fourth being the target. But we are going to be coming in pretty much perpendicular to the target, which means that we will not have a lot of time to drop bombs on target. Should be a relatively narrow target from the skies. Bombing at the altitude of 3,000 meters at 320 kph. Looks like Matthias Winkler here is going to be the flight lead. We are going to be wingman number 5 in the flight. Of course, the standard warning, enemy fighters may be patrolling around the target area. The date for the mission, as we already know, is September 8th, 1942. Takeoff time of 8:06 a.m. Weather for today, partly cloudy starting at 1,600 meters. And the weather balloon reports tells us that the wind will be 14 meters per second from 282 degrees. Estimated target altitude is 45 meters. And the primary objective, your mission is to bomb the rail yard located at waypoint 3 on your flight map. Your mission will be complete once you have successfully released your bombs over the designated target area. So, let's go ahead and outfit our bomber. Here she is. Of course, this is a brand new bomber shipped in over the last week. We lost ours. It exploded tremendously when it smacked the ground going a couple hundred kilometers per hour. We will outfit this with two 20mm cannons, one on the nose and one in the belly. Additionally, we are going to keep the standard loadout for 250K bombs and the one 500K bomb on the underbelly. Again, not going to have a very long amount of time to drop bombs on target. It should be a pretty narrow target from 3,000 meters up, so we will just have just a split second to drop. We'll have to see what it looks like from above to see if we're going to be able to get both the payloads here on target. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the mission. Alright, so here we are on the runway towards the back of the formation, so we'll have a little bit of a wait. There's the green flare though. Let's get some flaps into this thing, and we're going to sit here and wait our turn. So there goes flight lead now. and the other members of this flight rolling. Now 2 in front of us here. I can already tell we're going to have a pretty disgusting glare on some of our most important gauges here when we take off. And there goes the guy we were waiting on. So let's throttle up. Brakes released, and we are rolling. I can just barely make out the gauges here as we're going down the runway. That is 100 right now. And I can't see anything anymore. Give it another second here. We'll have to go by feel. That feels pretty good. We are airborne. Let's get the gear up. Alright, let's go ahead and throttle back a little bit to give the engines a break. We're starting to get a habit of catching these guys on takeoff here. So we do have our friend there off our right hand side. We're going to keep an eye on him. Stay below him so he doesn't have to react to us, and we're going to keep an eye on him. He's already making that turn, as is the front of the flight, so we'll go ahead and do the same. Keep looking to our right, see the back of the formation, make sure we're not going to run into them either. But there's flight lead at 12 o'clock. Some of the other guys here coming beside us. Okay, so as we come into formation here, just popping into the tail gun seat. Of course, as we talked about previously, our tail gunner was killed last mission, so this is a replacement joining our crew today, probably on his first mission. And I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, this is our first casualty and our first replacement for our bomber crew. We've been pretty lucky to make it 12 missions into the career without a casualty. And of course, on the 13th flight, we do get shot down and we do lose a crew member. So hopefully history does not repeat itself today, but nonetheless, we are just about in formation from the looks of things, and we are at about 650 meters up and climbing up to the initial altitude of 2,000 meters to meet the escort. Okay, so just up ahead of us, you can see down there the flare just shot up from the airfield. That's waypoint 2 down there. And you might be able to make out some fighters on the runway. I'm sure they will be getting clearance for takeoff here any second now, as we are about to cross over that airfield. Any second now we'll see a green flare shoot up. There it is right now. And there's the turn at waypoint 2. So we are going to pop into the bomb site now. Let's get this set up. So we know per briefing that we'll be dropping at 3,000 meters with the airspeed of 320 kph. Of course, keeping an eye on this once we get over the target. Let's go ahead and look at airspeed. And looks like wind speed at the bomb altitude is going to be 13 meters per second from 281 degrees. So first and foremost, let's get wind speed 10, 11, 12, 13 from 281 degrees. So if due west is 270, this is going to be 280. So it's a tailwind, albeit not a very, well, not directly in the tail, but you know, it's hitting us in the back. 281 degrees, so that would be this big one here. So I'll make mine the big one there, and I am pretty happy with that. Actually, that was pretty easy to set up. I'm very happy with that. In fact, take a look now in the view mode. Let's lift this up. I would be surprised if we see anything of value yet. And we do see a lot of clouds. So that's interesting. Hopefully it'll clear up. It usually does. Now that I've spoken that into existence, it's probably going to be just dreadful over the target. But nevertheless, we're dialed in. We're ready to go. Still making that climb up to 3,000 meters and to the indicated airspeed per briefing. But otherwise, the interval, we're going to keep it exactly how it is. Like I said, we're coming in perpendicular to the target, and I don't think we're going to have very much time to drop. We're probably only going to get these 4 bombs in the bomb bay on target, and that 500 might be dropping well after, if I had to guess. But we will have to wait and see what things look like as we get closer towards the target and closer to view range of the target. Okay, so just up ahead, you might be able to see some plumes of smoke coming up from the ground into the clouds. That's actually Stalingrad, and our target is just south of Stalingrad, and you'll see the river, which is the Volga River. Our target is right along the Volga River. And just taking a peek, yes, the target is here. Target is right here. We look to be coming in very nicely. Very nicely. In fact, we got a cloud though. That's going to be a little iffy. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with us right now. It has interfered with me being able to dial in this bomb site. Oh my, what an unlucky turn of events. Actually, it's clearing up. Maybe. Yeah, here we go. We're just gonna have enough. Another second now. Bombs away. Bomb doors closed. There goes the boys in front of us. Making the right-hand turn, we're above everybody, so we should be okay. I'd actually get to see the bombs hit here off our right hand side as we're making this sharp turn. Ah, crap, that's us. Think we missed. Unlucky. Okay, so coming in behind us. 1, 2, 3. 3 fighters in formation. So it looks like we might get to give the replacement a little test drive here on our way back. Oh, see? You see that? They just broke off from one another. Looks like one's coming straight ahead. This guy's going left. This guy's going right. And the escort is up above us. Looks like I-16s, IAR-80s today. But never mind that. They're still kind of far out. Just trying to figure out which one's going to be the best to come in at us. I'm not liking where this guy's aiming. They are coming back together. And it's kind of tough to figure out which one's closest. But this guy right here might be the target that we're going to go for. They do look like they're going above us. So, they did break off. They are converging. Just trying to see who it is they're going after. I think we're lucky. I think they're not going for us yet. Let's give it another second here. These guys are getting kind of close together. They did not hit each other. Okay, they broke off. That one guy broke off. This guy's now turning. Oh, there goes the escort on him. Yeah, we got a guy coming in. Look at all the escort fighters coming in. Uh-oh. Come on, man. Settle it down. Two bombers down. 3, in fact. Another one going down. Down to 4. I see shoots. More shoots. P-40's coming in. Escort took him out. P-40's coming in. Right here. Right over top of us. Into the sun. Lost a good bit of bombers here. Alright, so a lot of radio chatter. There's still one guy that has broken away from that fighting. A lone fighter on his own. No idea if it's friend or foe. It's been tailing us for the majority of the time, so I am keeping an eye on him. A look here at what's left of the formation. Looks like flight lead is up there. We're missing three bombers or so. We got one more damaged. Okay, so just a little bit later here, still being stalked by one fighter, but he doesn't seem too interested in fighting us, and or doesn't have the speed to catch up with us, which tells me that it's probably not a P-40, which is what we were getting attacked by, and more indicative of something like an IAR-80. It doesn't have as fast of a top speed as, say, a 109, so I think we're okay. He doesn't seem too interested in fighting us at the very least, so I think we're going to go ahead and do this and just kind of keep an eye outside and just see what's going on. The other members of the escort are landing, so they either ran out of ammo or they got so damaged they had to go back to base early. We do have a friend out here, but doesn't seem too interested in fighting, so I'm going to assume that's part of the escort. But anyways, we're probably not too far from our home base now. It's good to see this damaged bomber is still with us. Hopefully he's doing okay over there. We did lose a number of bombers during that fight, but this time around I did see some shoots, so that was good to see. Okay, so just up ahead, you'll see home base in front of us. We've made it back. We are... Whoa, gonna avoid that guy. We are gonna hang back because we do have a damaged bomber over there. And we're gonna let them land first. And we'll just be in a holding pattern and get that wounded bomber on the ground first here. So happy to drop out of formation, and you know, we don't know what type of condition this guy's in. And I'm just kind of trying to peek at him and see if I can see anything about him that would be concerning. But nevertheless, I think that might be no, it's just hard stands. Never mind. Okay, so some time has passed, and it is now our turn to put our bomber on the ground. So we'll go ahead and make the right-hand turn. Start bringing this in for landing. Alright, there's the runway. You can see a bomber still on there. We're going to go ahead and put the gear down. By the time we get there, he'll be off the runway. Here we come. We're at 200 kph. Dropping below 200 kph. Gears down. We are coming in now. That was an okay landing. Let's go ahead and get this thing off the runway so our friends behind us can land. Cool. Looks like our friend up here is gonna park right up in here. And I had a very similar idea, my friend. What a disappointing stat line for today. No kills. We were able to look out the window of the bomber as we were making the turn, and we kind of already... I kind of already assumed that we missed from there. This is confirmation that we did indeed miss. I was hopeful on the return flight when we got hit with those fighters. I thought I got one. I couldn't tell you where specifically I thought I got one, but you know, I heard the little chirp that it does when you get a kill, and fortunately we did not. So no stats for us today. Unfortunate. But let's see how the rest of the flight did today. Okay. Well, the rest of the guys did alright without us. So disappointing result for us. It's always discouraging when you feel pretty good about something and you just whiff. But that's how it be sometimes. That's how this thing goes. So looking at the rest of the guys, Matthias Winkler getting 2 kills on the day. Looks like he got a vehicle, a transport, and a station facility. Leonard Bear, who was also wounded in action, shot down in that flight. He gets 4 vehicles, 1 transport, 1 medium armored vehicle, and 2 heavy armored vehicles. And he gets 5 railroad cars. Conrad Lang gets 2 kills, 2 station facilities. Heinz Hermann Nelte getting 2 vehicles and 5 railroad cars. And then Simon Hapach, who was out for a while, I believe, with injury, he returns and gets 1 station facility. Overall, the flight gets 7 vehicle kills and 14 railroad kills. Unfortunately, we dropped short of the target and missed altogether. Very disappointing result for today. But we have a short turnaround time to redeem ourselves, because later this afternoon we will be bombing an artillery site. Let's look at where we're going. We are going back up to the northeast. Right here, to be exact, 151 kilometers away. But that will be for next time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you in the next video. Take care.